Yo guys, back again with another episode of WWE Off the Mic. This is episode 3. There's quite a lot of things to talk about today. I've got some news on Daniel Bryan, The Undertaker, John Cena, Braun Strowman and Vince McMahon, which that bit, the Strowman and Vince McMahon, it kind of ties into one. It's, they're basically to do with the same thing. It's a later show than normal. I usually do it on early Monday morning, but it's late afternoon now, so but I've just been at the gym and went to cinema today to see Ride Along 2, which was pretty cool. But yeah, the main thing I wanted to talk about in today's show is basically there's a lot of rumours going around for tonight's show, and it's likely, according to some sources, that Daniel Bryan will be on Monday Night Raw, which would be huge. I mean, if obviously everyone knows right now the WWE is in big need of like a lot of top guys back. And what is my cat doing? There we go. Yeah, the WWE has got a lot of basically holes on its roster right now, and the fact that basically they need anyone and everyone basically going into this year's WrestleMania. The rumours are that Vince McMahon wants Daniel Bryan in the WWE going into WrestleMania, but not competing, which is, it's one of those. I'm seriously, it's like it doesn't make any sense. He's one of the best in-ring guys you've got in the company right now, and I mean, a lot of people have been talking about it. Same goes for me. AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania is just, it's pure gold. It's there, ready to be done. You don't need much time to book it. It just sells by itself. And you can have it anywhere on the show and the crowd be into it. And even if it wasn't AJ Styles, you can have him against anyone. But the fact that the WWE just won't clear him basically from his injury, and he's been cleared by 3 doctors now. But WWE just still haven't cleared him, and I honestly don't know what they're waiting for, because if you're not going to have him wrestle, why have him? Seriously, it's, some people have made the argument that, well, it's good to have a guy in the company, whatever, but Daniel Bryan is amazing in the ring, and to just have him on TV and not wrestle, to me, that's just a huge shame, and I think that'd be a total waste. And yeah, so there's a big chance he could be on tonight's Raw. I wouldn't take it as 100% until he's there, but it's in tonight's Raw is in Seattle, which is considering where WWE has its arenas and where they go, this is the closest to Daniel Bryan's hometown as it goes. So we'll see if he turns up. It'd be great if he does. The ratings will go up massively. I mean, the crowd has just been crying out for Daniel Bryan for ages now. So at this point, I'd just give the fans what they want. So yeah, when it comes to Daniel Bryan, I'd like to see him in the ring. Otherwise, I don't want him on TV basically, because I just don't think it does any good. The next thing I wanted to mention is The Undertaker, because obviously there's still no pure fact of who he's going to wrestle at WrestleMania, who he's going to be involved with. And again, this kind of ties into it. There's more and more news that WWE is, that John Cena's injury is going really well. The recovery is going amazing. So obviously, I still at this point I'd put it as an outside chance. But considering it's John Cena, and the thing is, you really wouldn't need, neither guy would have to wrestle at all. You could just have them come back, talk, make some promos basically about the match. I mean, the thing I would do is basically have The Undertaker come out and obviously say that, talk about his record at WrestleMania, and then John Cena come out and say, you face loads of great opponents and you're obviously one of the best ever, but, can you beat the best of the last 10 years type of thing? Because John Cena obviously has dominated the WWE, for the last 10 years. He's been the guy. He's won all the championships there are. So I just think it's the match the fans want, because You know, the last time John Cena was in the ring with The Undertaker, I have no idea. It's so long ago. It's to the point where it feels like it would be fresh, you know, because it's so rare that you've ever seen these two in the same ring that it would just, especially after this amount of time, it would just come off so well. And if it's going to be the Undertaker's last match at WrestleMania, there's no chance in hell I want him against Braun Strowman. No, that can't. That would just be a total disaster, and I'd be disappointed if the fans didn't leave the arena. That would. I'm praying at this point that does not happen. But yeah, I think there's a slight chance. There's still an outside possibility right now, but I wouldn't rule it out at all. And you know, you could have even had Undertaker versus Seth Rollins, Undertaker versus Randy Orton, those type of things, if obviously they weren't injured. I mean, Randy Orton would be a great one. Yes, they've had a match at WrestleMania before, whereas Undertaker and John Cena haven't, which is, again, it's fresh, it's never been done before. But Randy Orton was really young. He was really young last time he faced The Undertaker, and now, you know, with the experience and the amount of championships he's won, you know, they could really pull off a great match, and basically Randy Orton could come across a lot better now. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I don't know where they're going to go with The Undertaker, what route they're going to go down. It's going to be fascinating, but it won't be fascinating if it's Braun Strowman, that's for sure. So I just pray that doesn't happen. And about Braun Strowman and The Undertaker, there's quite a lot of news right now that The Undertaker has or will refuse to work with Braun Strowman at WrestleMania, which, I mean, I don't see why in any mind The Undertaker would want to face Braun Strowman. If it's his last WrestleMania, even if it's not his last WrestleMania, the opponents he's had, you can't go from like your Shawn Michaelses, your Triple H's, Batistas, Bray Wyatt's. You can't go from that level when it's supposed to be the biggest WrestleMania of all time as well. But again, even if that wasn't the case, so take out the possible retirement, take out the biggest WrestleMania, still it doesn't merit Braun Strowman facing The Undertaker because of the opponents he's had before. So I really hope that doesn't happen. But at this point, there's the big update with Vince McMahon is that Vince is just insanely high on Braun Strowman, and that he's a huge fan. Which, I mean, I guess, no, I was going to say something then, but no, I don't even believe that myself. So I just think, I mean, yeah, there's a point that Vince McMahon, you know, he might have seen some of Braun Strowman's talent, you know, backstage or whatever, but the fact is, it's Vince McMahon, and he's totally screwing up WWE right now, so I wouldn't trust him to have an opinion about someone. It's to the point where it's Vince McMahon has his set of guys, and he will have them be put over at any cost. It doesn't matter what the fans want, who deserves it, who's amazing in the ring. None of that matters when it comes to Vince McMahon. He has an opinion. He has who he likes, and that's the bottom line. So that's something that, yeah. Another thing is with Shawn Michaels, Vince McMahon has apparently asked Shawn Michaels to be a part of WrestleMania in a wrestling form, but Shawn Michaels said no, and doesn't want to come out of retirement. And I truly, like, there's a lot of wrestlers who retire or they leave the company and they'll come back for a match, they'll come back for a WrestleMania moment basically. But I can't see that happening at all with Shawn Michaels. He just looks like the type of guy who's loyal to what he's done or what he said. And I honestly don't see him wrestling ever again. I don't see Shawn Michaels. I mean, at this point, I think it's still a long shot that he's even going to... Well, he'll be at WrestleMania, but I think if he's not going to wrestle, the way they'd want him in the... at WrestleMania would maybe be a special guest referee for the main event. If it's Triple H, Roman Reigns, that, him being the referee and trying to help Triple H and try and screw over Roman Reigns would be a big thing to do, and that would be something that they could go towards. But I'm not even sure Shawn Michaels will do that. I think he'll appear at WrestleMania, but I'm not sure WWE will be able to get him to appear in the way they want him to, basically. So, yeah, that's something to keep an eye on. But like I said, and one more thing, just before I go, one more thing is apparently there's rumours of AJ Styles already having some backstage heat with Vince McMahon, which I can't talk about this for too long without getting pissed. So the thing is, they don't want... basically, AJ Styles has been a bit angry with the booking so far. And Vince McMahon, again, AJ Styles is not one of his guys. So he went out and got AJ Styles, who is the best wrestler in the world, the biggest coveted free agent in years, the biggest name outside of the WWE. AJ Styles is, the man when it comes to wrestling. And Vince McMahon didn't go out and get him because he has huge plans for him. Didn't go out and get him because he's the guy. He basically went out and got him to screw over any other wrestling company that wanted him. But he didn't have a plan of doing anything good with AJ Styles. It was like, well, you're not going to sign with anyone else, so you're going to sign with us. But you're not going to be used. No one's going to care really. How you're used, and that's just, it's a bit of a slap in the face. And AJ Styles deserves to be at the top of the WWE. Deserves to win all the championships. Well, he deserves to be the WWE World Heavyweight Champion in 2016 at some point, because, I mean, one, I think it would just be amazing if he could hold that title and basically be able to say he was the first guy to hold probably the 3 biggest World Heavyweight Championships in wrestling. So, in 3 different companies, obviously. So, but yeah, apparently there's some backstage heat on his booking and how he's been, portrayed already. So, I don't know. That's just something else to watch, and I just hope it doesn't escalate into something big where they take away a WrestleMania moment or they have him in a nothing match, because again, Vince will do what he wants, and if someone's arguing with him about what should be going on, Vince is not going to say yes to anyone else's opinion. It's going to be him or nothing. So yeah, we'll see about that. Look forward to tonight's Raw. Hopefully, Brock Lesnar should be there. AJ Styles, Roman Reigns, should be a good show, and obviously we'll see what happens. And I'll do my review for that tomorrow. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to like, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. That would be amazing. I would really appreciate it. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and see you soon.